In today's video, we're going to have a look at 5 ideas for your next great lead magnet. As you know, it's getting more and more difficult to get people to sign up and opt in to join mailing lists, and because of that, you're going to need to put together some great lead magnets. So the first way to come up with a great lead magnet is to find out what your audience wants. You know, what's a popular topic in your niche that isn't covered in maybe one of the products that you've already created, maybe a book, or maybe it's not explained well on your blog. And, you know, could you create something like a frequently asked question, bundle up into a report and give it away? You know, maybe could you offer at the back of your book, get people to come over to your blog then to download this companion to go with whatever book maybe you had given away. So, say for example, in the case of maybe someone who's written a children's book, you know, and they might say, well, what can I give away to go with a children's picture book, because, you know what, there's not many options you can actually do. But with a little imagination, you can actually come up with ideas like, say for example, now if your book was based on a Christian theme, you know, could you give away a supplement, a lead generation thing like maybe a gratitude journal that parents could print out and go and fill out at the end of the day as it's bedtime, you know. A list of things maybe you could include to get kids off to bed, you know, on time and get them to go to sleep, and things like that maybe you could add in. Then maybe another thing you could give away maybe is, you know, a companion book. You know, as I say here, like if you've written the paleo diet book, maybe could you give away, you know, if you've written a book on the paleo diet, you know, could you give a recipe book along the way with it? So some kind of companion book. Maybe if you were doing a fitness thing, maybe you could give away, maybe like, as I said here, like if the exercise book is targeted toward men, you know, give it away a supplement book, maybe 21 ways to get bigger arms. You know, another thing, what you else could do too is giving away free content. You know, free content, you know, it travels far. A lot of people can't say no to free things, so it can get your foot in the door. So if you've written maybe a fiction book, you know, could you give away a prequel or a sequel? Or even if you didn't want to give away such a large book, you know, could you break it down maybe and give a couple of chapters away just to give somebody a taste of what's actually in the main book? Or could you do a short story? You know, could you do a spin-off maybe for some book that runs parallel to the book you've just written? You know, and if it was popular, maybe, you know, maybe it could be the opening maybe of another series for you. As I said here in the article, like the latest Star Wars movies, like all from one Star Wars movie where they had the first two going forwards, we had the other ones going backwards, and then we have the prequels and sequels and other movies that are running parallel to that Star Wars movie. So could you create something like that, maybe a smaller version of your original content and give it away free in exchange for an email address? And then too, maybe giving away content, image content. You know, if your book is on motivation or exercise or things like that, could you create a couple of desktop wallpapers? You know, go to a website like Pixabay and create some desktop wallpapers with motivational quotes. You could make them in different sizes, maybe for PCs and all the way down to smartphone size, so people could put them on their, you know, their iPhones or whatever it was, to be a constant reminder to keep doing what they're supposed to be doing. Could you break down the content to make some cheat sheets, put down the basics, so that somebody maybe could have it as desktop on the wallpaper on the desktop, so every time they turn on the PC they know exactly the tips they should be following for that day. Just a constant reminder, you know, that they're following the information that was given in the book, because, you know, as yourself, it's hard to remember a book, everything in a book after you're reading it. But could you give away some, you know, additional content that would be an easy reminder for your reader to, you know, to keep it refreshed in the mind, and they could follow along them tips every day? And then number 5, then could you have a competition? Now, depending on the size of a competition is up to you, or how much you wanted to give away. But, you know, even some of the examples here have given away, like, you know, a chance to win a $97 course, t-shirts for kids at the back of maybe fictional books, or maybe get their name as the main character of the next book. So things like that, maybe you could raise, you know, a competition and get people involved. And then maybe monthly you can, you know, email everybody off. But one of the conditions of the competition could be that you only will email to people who give you a valid email address, because all winners are contacted by email. So it'll cut down on the amount of spam. Maybe, you know, maybe the emails that just people aren't actually reading every day, and you're just going to a useless website, or useless email box. So rather than doing that, maybe if you ask for valid email addresses, you'll get the person's you know, their day-to-day email address, so you can contact them, and then you can and once the competition's over, you've got an excuse to email everybody. Just give details of who the winner was, but rather than disappointing everybody, give them a smaller kind of prize for taking part. And just follow those 5 simple things here, and you should have some loads of great ideas for your next great lead magnet. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.